Alrighty, welcome back to the Brown Balls podcast. How you doing, brother?
Good, bro. Repping my Super Bowl champion Rams. I smell another championship coming in 2026,
Dang, 2026, huh?
Yes, sir.
Which dream is it going to be in? Is it like your first dream of 2026? Is it like middle of the pack? Which dream are you going to have this championship come through?
Man, it's going to come through regardless in whatever dream, bro. I'm telling you. It's going to be good, bro. It's going to be good.
All right. Let's get into it, man. We got a lot of news happening today.
Yes, sir.
First and foremost, we're going to talk about the most emotional we've ever seen, Nikola Jokic.
My gosh.
His horse that just won. It was just some kind of derby. I'm not sure what it was. And you just see him just crying with tears of joy and happiness. And I think Bleacher Report actually did a side-by-side of him reacting to his horse winning and him actually winning the championship trophy. And then you can just tell, like, it's a vast difference. He's just like, I mean, even after, like, the press conference, like, all right, we won. We can all go home now, right? This is over, right? So the dude loves his horses, man. I feel like once he's retired, we will never, ever hear from Nikola Jokic ever again. He'll just go back to his country and just play with his horses and call it a life. I think that's what he will do.
Like a Team Duncan, man? Like a Timmy D?
Yeah, just completely. He doesn't want to be in the media, doesn't want all this stuff. Okay, I'm done. Thank you so much. I won my championship. I made my money. I'll see you guys in the next life.
Man, honestly, one thing we know that, Jokic has emotions.
Yeah.
That's the thing we found out, right? Because when he plays basketball, man, when he makes the buzzer beater or makes some unbelievable shot towards the Lakers or whatever he does, winning a championship, the guy doesn't have emotion in any sense. He's not happy or anything, But him winning this derby or horse racing of his own, it was really close and dear to him, and that showed because all he cares about is his horse racing. And I'm guessing, he bought this horse when it was a baby, I guess, and made it into a what it was supposed to be, winning a champion, right? And so for him was like a full circle moment. But man, if you're the Denver Nuggets, isn't this like a slap to your face?
No, what would it be?
Nah, not a slap. Okay, but put it this way. So you saw him with a big champagne bottle when he won that derby, and he was actually putting it on his person who rode the horse and on the horse on him and everything. When he won the championship, he just looked at it. He's like, all right, I'm good. I don't really want to do this kind of shower, right? I mean, actually, let me say it back. It's not a slap to Denver Nuggets. It's a slap to like the NBA, right? I mean, it's like for him, it's like he's just doing a regular 8 to 5 job to collect his paycheck.
Yeah.
His real
hobby.
Not
his real hobby. His real hobby is horses.
Exactly.
That's his thing. No, I'm happy honestly, I'm happy for the guy. Like, like I said in one of our other podcasts, like one of his teammates, he said, like, people make fun of Jokic, that he doesn't care, he's never happy, he's not prepared. He is literally that one guy who's first one in, last one out. He watches every single film. He sits down with the coach every single week, go through film, go through plays, all that kind of stuff. He's very involved. He loves the sport. But there's just something that, like, when you win, like, I guess, his real hobby, his real passion is by horses, right? And in Serbia, you can't necessarily be super rich and have a bunch of horses, right? It's hard to do that.
Right.
So this is his way of getting a bunch of horses and obviously having them win. So I'm happy for the dude, honestly. And I know a lot of memes were made. And it's true. Like he was very. I don't think I would ever have imagined myself seeing Jokic that way, right? Not even if he made the Hall of Fame, he'd be like, "All right, cool, thank you guys. Okay, are we done here? Okay, thank you to Jamal Murray. Okay, bye." That's it. That's what he'll probably do. But it's just so funny, and I really did love the contrast that they did between his winning the championship. It's just like,
hey man,
are we done yet? Can we go home now? And then remember when they were gonna set the parade, and he's like, "It's gonna be on Thursday," and he's like, "No, I have to go back home on Thursday." And he's like, "No, we have to stay here for the championship parade. Like, your fans want to see you."
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And you know what, man? It kind of goes back to the aura that NBA has lost, right? This is going back to Adam Silver, man. I honestly, I think I'm in the minority who does not like Adam Silver. Like,
I don't like him either.
Okay, that's good. But I don't like him as what he literally how do I put it this way? He forgot what's the purpose for the NBA is. And that's winning the ultimate goal, which is the Larry O'Brien Trophy. It's
Mhm.
not winning the in-season tournament that he's trying to bring in, and not trying to like come up with a different format of All-Star game,
Mhm.
Like let it be, man. Like honestly, go back to the fundamentals. Like, like during the finals, fans even were kind of like uneasy about how the finals was taking place. Meaning like there was no championship, logo anywhere, no Larry O'Brien trophy logo anywhere.
Mhm.
I mean, look at back in the day when Kobe was competing in the finals. The whole court was Larry O'Brien,
Yeah.
and Laker logo in the middle. When they faced the Boston, same thing. The whole court was Larry O'Brien and Boston logos in the middle, right? So the aura, that importance has been lost, right? And I really feel that David Stern really cared about the product.
Mhm.
He didn't really care about the players. He didn't really care about if the fans liked him or not. He didn't really give a shit about anything. He cared about the product, making sure NBA as a byproduct is it is what it is as the highest level, right? And ever since Adam Silver took over, it was more about the fans, more about the players. Are they comfortable? Man, no, man, you're working for the owners. Like
Exactly.
I understand, like
That's the difference.
yeah, I understand the teams are getting sold for like billions of dollars, but the ratings are lower and lower, man. And like,
Mhm.
sooner or later, man, I mean, the owners are going to be like, dude, I don't want to be in this business anymore. You're losing
Mhm.
money because you're going to be paying players like $1 million a game almost. Like next year or a year after, like Anthony Edwards' contract's going to be 1 million a game, man. Like,
Yeah.
and owners are not making that type of money anymore, So I'm just it's kind of goes back why Jokic really cared about the horses and not Larry O'Brien trophy. Because honestly, man, winning a championship is really tough. It's not
Mhm.
easy, You gotta go like Phil Jackson always said. You gotta have three things. One, it's a really good team. Two, you gotta have one of the best players. And
Mhm.
three, you gotta have luck on your side.
Yeah. For sure.
If you ask the Indiana Pacers, they didn't have the luck on it. If you ask Boston Celtics, they didn't have luck. If you ask New York Knicks, they did
Mhm.
not have luck on their side.
Mhm.
Typical game one loss, right? So you gotta have luck on your side. And like the thing is this, man, for Jokic to like not be emotional winning a championship or winning a horsing race, I mean, it shows, right? The NBA is losing the purpose,
Mhm.
that playing for the championship is huge. I mean, this year the NBA Finals, man, like it was like a regular season game. Like to be honest with you, I
Yeah.
remember when Kobe got in, when Lakers were playing against the Boston or Orlando Magic, like the starting lineups obviously was national televised, and they started doing that because fans were saying that we want national allow them to be national televised, and I don't know if you remember, but they had like a big like balloons of trophies like on the side and players entering, and
Mhm.
with smoke and everything, right? Like the entertainment was there, and it's
Mhm.
not there anymore. So I'm just saying, man, everyone everyone raves over Adam Silver, but man, this guy is losing everything, man. He cares more about other shit and not the main product. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think like how like David Stern, rest in peace. Like he's like Roger Goodell, right? Roger Goodell works for the owner, and you can tell Roger Goodell does not really side with the players too much. He's more about, okay, owners, you guys want to make money, we're going to profit, we're going to have a good product out there, dominant product. That's what we're going to do. And he's done that ever since. And that's the same thing that I feel like David Stern did really well. And then Adam Silver, I mean, granted, the NBA did grow under him, but he's also trying to play it both ways. He's trying to appease the owners and appease the players. And I think doing that has made it into a pure business because the players
Exactly.
just want to make a lot of money and owners want to make a lot of money. And there's no competition anymore because it's like, hey, whoever wins, you have the face of the NBA, LeBron James, saying that championships don't matter. Doesn't matter what you do. Legacy is all about what kind of record you hold. And that's all players want to do now. They don't. They may or may not care about championships. And I think it's that kind of how it's been going. And Jokic is a good example of like, I don't care. Like it's not a thing that I like am diehard about. Even the way he plays, he makes the game look so easy, which is frustrating. Like I remember, I think one of our friends, he gets so frustrated with him. He's like, I hate how he plays because everything. It's like he's just lobbing it up and it's an easy 3-pointer, and he gets so frustrated. But that's just how he is. He doesn't care about it. At the same time, I think Adam Silver has made that an issue for the NBA because now it's just purely a business.
Yeah.
Who makes the most money per year? That's all I care
Right.
about. You're giving, Devin Booker $73 million a year for what? Just no playoffs? Like there should be some kind of not incentivizing players to just tank and then also make a shit ton of money. It makes no sense to me, you know?
And you know what, a perfect example is, you know how the MLB All-Star game was like 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching it with my wife, right? And it's so crazy, man. Like, so now she watches sports, and she kind of recognizes, like, you know, especially for baseball, she doesn't know everybody, but she knows some players. But she recognizes them only because of one reason. David Stern did that, and he kind of went away with it, but MLB still does it. And you know what that is?
What's that?
Even though you made the All-Star team, you're still wearing your team's jersey.
Mm.
You know,
That's true.
David Stern did that in the late 90s and early 90s, where teams, when you made the All-Star team, you still wore your team's jersey. You know, either you wear it dark or light, depending on East or West, you know? And that's what baseball still continues to do. They, you know, they wear their own team's jersey, even though they have an All-Star patch. So my wife was able to recognize that. Isn't that Manny Machado that Dodger hates, you know? If that was some other jersey, like it was an All-Star jersey, she wouldn't really recognize them, because, you know, she'd be like, okay, maybe that's him, maybe that's not him. But obviously, you know, he had San Diego in the front, and the guy looked like Manny Machado, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like that, right? So fans love that. I mean, I loved it when back in, like, you know, late 90s, when Garnett, Kobe, Duncan, when they're in the All-Star, they're wearing their own team jersey. You know, that was so awesome, man. And like now they're going with like more of a fashion statement, like, oh, every city, you know, they get to do their own ugly uniforms. It became like an ugly Christmas sweater, to be honest with you. Because I'll be honest with you, man, those All-Star jerseys are very ugly, and nobody really even buys that bullshit, you know, to be honest with you. I mean, nobody cares about it. Oh, like this last year one was... That's
true. I wonder how the All-Star games sales are for those jerseys. Probably not high. No one would give a shit. It changed every single year too.
Exactly, right? Exactly. And so I don't understand why not go back to fundamentals, man, and then like kind of, you know, bring back, you know, if you make the All-Star team, you're wearing your team, because honestly, you are representing your team.
Exactly. And your city. You're representing LA, like not just, you know.
Imagine, you know, SGH representing OKC, because OKC doesn't really have stars sometimes, you know. Imagine, like, for example, Indiana, you know, like they haven't had a star since like Reggie Miller days, you know, like, I mean, Halliburton is really good now, right? And so, I mean, representing Indiana, you know, like, I mean, it's good to rep that, you know? So NBA has kind of got away with that, you know, and like they got to bring that back. And so, which would be better. I mean, that's, you know, my two cents.
And under Silver, the NBA All-Star game is a joke. No one cares. I used to, it went from like me watching both days, every single series, down to like, all right, I don't care about 3-point content. Okay, now I don't care about the actual game. Okay, I'll watch the dunk content now. Like, I don't even care about dunk content. Who cares? Like, no one really tries. None of the stars are in there. Like, there's no incentives for people to do it. And that's just, and then again, like you mentioned earlier, like the NBA Finals didn't have the logos of the championship trophy, but then they can make an ugly ass court for the mid-season tournament. Like, it makes no sense. Like, why they did, what kind of decision making goes in that? Like, it shows that you care more about the in-season tournament than you do about the actual NBA Finals. Like, which blows my mind.
You know what they said? NBA personnel people said, they came back with, because they asked that question, because they're like, how come, you know, it's not different? And they're like, oh, because the player's injury. We don't want to, you know, have that fake stickers out there. Or I'm like, well, what about the in-season tournament in December?
No, you rather have them get injured in the middle of the season than the end of the season?
It doesn't make any sense. There's so much technology out there. Like, you don't eat bullshit, man. Like, they know it's like, nah, man.
It's so dumb.
I think it's horrible, man.
Yeah, but well, congrats to Nikola and his you know, his horse, man. That's freaking awesome.
Exactly. And you know, I actually wanted to bring up another topic that I don't have in an agenda. It kind of goes along with this before we continue with our you know, agenda. I don't know who said this, but it's so true. But what's your take on the fact that NBA teams should not be penalized if you draft well? What I mean by that...
Good point.
What I mean by that is that, I forgot who said it, and there's a very good point. And they shouldn't be penalized.
McCollum.
Yes, and that's perfect, man. Like, you know, like, NBA cares so much about, you know, parity, right? And like making sure that, you know, rich don't get richer, and like, you know, they want the other teams to get up again. So if you're like a small market, like, you know, Oklahoma, who has Shai Alexander and Williams, and then, you know, Indiana, who is Halliburton, and then, you know, in this case, Dallas too, right? You know, obviously players gets traded because financial reasons. They don't want to pay players like upward of 300 million, right? Because they become super max. So, and that's so true, because like you shouldn't be penalized. Like, for example, Lakers had a great draft class. They, like back in 2017 or 16, out in one draft they drafted Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, and I think Lonzo Ball. And they also had Ingram the previous year, and they had D'Angelo Russell. They had a really good draft class, right? But if that was a small market team, they would have kept those core together, and they shouldn't have get penalized. So I do agree with CJ McCollum that, hey, look, if you're one of those teams, because honestly, dude, having the number 1 overall pick, it's not always you hitting on the dot. There has been a lot of busts in the top number 1 pick, and even in the top 10, there has been a lot of busts, because Donovan Mitchell was drafted number 15th, Booker was drafted number 13th or 12th, Shai was drafted number 12th. So there's players outside of top 10 getting drafted really well. Those teams, if you draft well, you shouldn't be penalized, and it shouldn't be where, okay, fine, when this player becomes a superstar and you're going to be paying him upward of 300 million, you shouldn't be like, shit, he's going to go towards our salary cap, and then we're going to be hitting first apron. NBA, I wish they come up with a new way where if you do have a young player who's going to be hitting those kind of strides, making like all NBA, all-star game, and yes, they're going to be making upward of 300-400 million. What they should really think about is, instead of the whole 100% counting towards the salary cap, they should think about having 75% count towards the salary cap, and not that whole 100%. Because think about it, you want those teams to still succeed, right? What's your take on that, Tapas?
I agree with you 100%, and I'm glad you brought that up, because that was something I was thinking about bringing up as well. Yeah, it's kind of what happened in Boston Celtics, right? They draft really well, they get Jaylen Brown, and they have Jason Tatum, and now they have to pretty much gut the entire team, but they paid those 2 superstars a lot of money, and they take up most of the entire luxury tax and into the first apron just on those 2 players.
Right.
Oh, and now same thing is going to happen with OKC, right? And I agree with you. They should not be penalizing people who are doing the things the right way, which is you draft well, you build a really good, strong team, and now you are going to be able to live through those riches, versus a team like, and obviously if you have a big trio that formed like the Suns did, yes, of course you penalize them, because that's what you're willing to do. You're willing to bring a bunch of people in. You penalize, fine, that's fine, but not the homegrown talent. Those you should be able to keep and not affect your salary cap as much. I agree with you. I was going to ask you, what do you think as far as what's fair? I think 75% is very fair as far as hitting the cap of the first, second apron. I agree with you. I think that's something that they should look into, because I know OKC is going to be the next Boston. In a couple of years, they're going to be like, all right, we got to keep one of the 2, either Chet or Williams, and we're obviously going to keep SGA. And now what do we do? Who do we give up? It's not fair to them, because it's not their fault. They got a bunch of picks. They drafted really well. They developed them really well. They win championships. How is that their fault? I don't get it.
I completely agree. Like Golden State Warriors, right? They're able to keep their Draymond, Steph, and Clay together for a while, because they're lucky with that TV contract coming in, so they got the cap space went up, right? But there's teams out there, man, who have a really young, bright future, and San Antonio's coming up on that, to be honest with you, with Wemby and Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle, those kind of players, they're drafting well. I mean, and you know what? I mean, they're able to get it, so they shouldn't, it shouldn't be a penalty, man. New Orleans was another example. They had to get rid of CJ McCollum because they're paying Zion so much. And they're going to have other rookies coming up to get paid, and they're like, we can't keep CJ, right? So now that team is going to take a huge step back, because CJ McCollum was a big part of their team,
Yeah.
And so
he's like the leader of the team, essentially.
Exactly. Right? He's a veteran, and so they got rid of it, man. So, but yeah, man, I just hate that. They should, look, I like the fact that they put that clause in where if you get drafted by your team and you remain with your team, they're the only team that has a right to pay you that 5th year, which is great.
Right.
Because a lot of players want to give that get that 5th year, and they can pay you the most money if you stay with them, And so that was a great rule, and that kept a lot of players. They didn't end up going anywhere, And so, but yeah, man, they got to come up with a new way to keep these players on that team.
Yeah, that's a good call. I think that's something that CJ. I know he's no longer the NBA PA president, right? He's somebody else's now. So maybe that could have been something that could have been works in for the new deal. Hey, we got to keep our homegrown talent like alive and keep them around. Otherwise, it's not fair for especially small markets that they really get screwed out of potentially having a good successful few years because they can't pay $300 million for one player plus two more. Who knows?
Fred VanVleet is the new president.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, man, it should be interesting. I mean, let's see. There's a new TV deal coming out. We'll see how that turns out too, but we'll see how that goes. All right, let's go into some injury reports. So I know you want to talk about Dame. Like, we have our bet, Dame potentially looking to come in earlier in the season. Again, I still stand by it. Not gonna happen. This is the same BS Aaron Rodgers told. Not gonna happen. But what was giving you that hope? Well, I mean, why would he come back? It's Portland Trailblazers. They're not doing anything. Why would he come back?
Well, okay, so I think my title was I wrote it differently. Yeah. What I meant to say is Dame is back in Portland. We didn't talk about that. We never covered that. Dame signed with, Blazers a few weeks back. That was a shocking news because there was a lot of rumor that he was going to take his time. And wait till like February when when he finds out where his body is at and where he wants to go to win a championship. That's what everyone was anticipating, that hey, he'll wait till February or March. March is a deadline. First week of March is the deadline to get into playoff roster, and so he was going to see where teams are at, because the teams who are projected to win this year in the beginning might fall out and might not be projected to win anymore, right? And so he's coming off a torn Achilles, which will take time, So people thought, people speculated that he's going to wait and see what team is closer to the championship, right? But all of a sudden, like about 2 weeks ago, he came out of nowhere and signed back with Blazers, where the team that drafted him and everything, and he's going back home. I don't know about you, but I was really shocked with that decision. When Dame actually went back, signed with Blazers, he signed a 3-year deal. He's a second player to have no trade clause, and so he can't be traded now unless he approves of it. And this shows that he doesn't really care about winning a championship right now. He doesn't care. He wants to go home and be comfortable, and you can tell when he was in Milwaukee, he wasn't himself and he wasn't comfortable at all. And if you're Blazers, I mean, this is a perfect mentor for Scoot Henderson. They've drafted him number 3 overall a few years back, and now Scoot can actually learn from him and Drew Holiday. But what's your take on Dame going back? That's what I meant to write.
Yeah, I thought you meant he's coming in early. I'm like, dude, like not again. But yeah. It was a surprise, honestly. I will say, if, like you said, if he wanted to win a championship, he would have gone to somewhere like the Celtics. Right? They would have needed him. They could have afforded him. Lakers would have been an option too, obviously. I'm surprised. I guess I'm not surprised in the fact that he went back to Portland because, like you said, he is not comfortable. He was not comfortable in Milwaukee. I think just being out of his comfort zone did not make him feel better by himself. Maybe he just felt like, home is where Portland is. I mean, they even had that thing where like he told his kid, and his kid was like, "Oh, we're going back home," and and he's like, "Yeah, we're going back home now."
Yeah.
So you can tell that it was always going to be home was Portland. The only thing that surprised me about this was, why did Portland pay 3 year $42 million? Like, what's the point of that? He could have gotten the minimum.
Yeah.
He's already getting paid $100 million from the Bucks. Why spend all that freaking money on this guy? Why? Right? $42 million for 3 years, for technically $42 million for 2 years, right?
Yes.
Because he's not going to play next year. So $21 million a year for Damian Lillard, who's already going to make $100 million more. Why? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just more like a thank you thing again.
Maybe, probably. He's 34.
Contract.
He's done. I mean, So.
Yeah, maybe that's his last contract with them. So here you go. But that's the only thing I was just like, wow, they really overpaid for that. I thought he would get paid like the 2 year, $11 million minimum, right? Like that's what he should
Marcus
get paid.
Smart did, yeah.
I'm not sure why Portland did that. That was weird to me. But again, I don't blame him going back home.
All right.
He's one of those players that was never about the stats or ring chasing. I think he just wanted to have his legacy as potentially the greatest Blazer of all time.
Which is probably going to happen.
You think
Yeah, I mean, the greatest Blazer, I mean, it will be after Bill Walton, because Bill Walton brought them the championship, right? And,
that's true.
And he was the number 1 overall pick. And then after that, I mean, there's nobody else that won a championship for them. I mean, there are good players that came from Blazers, like Rasheed Wallace,
Clyde.
Michael Thompson, for a former Laker, who was the number one pick by Blazers. He was the overall number one pick by them. Definitely not Sam Bowie. He won't be there.
Yeah.
Greg Oden won't be there.
Greg Oden.
So, man. But I mean, yeah, you had Rasheed Wallace, Brian Grant, coming down.
Didn't really stick around that long.
No, not that long. Like Damian is like a cornerstone, that guy who was there for 14 years and then left, and came back now. So I think after Bill Walton, I think he'll be number 2, if not Clyde. Clyde was there for a while too. Remember in Blazers?
Yeah.
So I mean,
he got a championship in
Houston.
Houston, So
yeah, man.
I mean, again, not surprised that he went back, but just surprised by how much they paid for him.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, but talking about coming back from Achilles, you don't agree that Damian will come back, but the recent photos have circulated that our guy, Jason Tatum, has been walking on his 2 feet without any type of assistance. They're saying that he could be back by All-Star break. Now tell me this: if he's back by All-Star break, what makes you think Damian Lillard will not be back by who actually got injured a month before?
It's not gonna happen either way. First of all, why in the world would Boston rush him back?
I agree.
Boston would.
I agree with
fools if they did that, because you're paying the guy $60 million a year, something like that. You're not gonna throw him out there. It's a wash. You already know this season's a wash. Just get it over with. You finally got under the second apron. Ride it out. Make your playoffs, because they probably will make playoffs. So they're not gonna win anything. Then reload for when he comes back. And again, with Portland, why would Dame want to come back with Portland? They're gonna be fighting for last place. So why would one rush back? This always happens. Again, Aaron Rodgers, same thing. I think they even thought about Kobe was going to come back early, and even though, I think Kobe was the only one that actually told the reporters. I don't know if you heard that story from Woj about how, like, he would always ask Kobe, hey, when you come back, and Kobe's like, don't ask me, I'll tell you. I will email you when I come back. And then when the day that he actually announced he come back, he emailed Woj, I'm back, I'm ready to go. That's it. It's like, don't bother me. Don't make up stories about me. Don't say I'm walking. I will let you know when I'm back.
Yeah.
That's badass. And so it's the same thing here. Like, again, they should not be rushing Tatum back, and Dame's not gonna be back for sure. What are you talking? Should the Celtics rush him back, or would he want to come back?
Honestly, man, look, next year's a wash year. They traded everyone away. They're kind of just reloading for 26 season.
Yeah.
I mean, they have signed players that they can compete. They'll make the playoffs, because Jaylen Brown is a bad man. And then they got assignments from Blazers, and they sell Derek White. So they still have a good cornerstone team going through, and if I'm Celtics, look, Tatum is like 26, 27, whatever he is. He's young. Let him take his time. Let him miss a whole year. Let him be comfortable with his body, because usually you got to be comfortable with your legs, and don't rush him back. I like Tatum. Even though he's a Boston Celtic, I hate Celtics. I'm a fan of Tatum, man. So don't ruin the guy, man. Let him come back. And talking about Achilles tear, did you hear the story with Mr. Tyrese Halliburton on Pat McAfee show? That's some badass shit right there, man. So background on that. So Tyrese Halliburton tore his Achilles in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and when he tore it, he was getting up and getting assisted by personal trainers and players, and he was trying to think about what Kobe did. How Kobe walked it off and went to the free throw and shot the 2 free throws and walked off the court. So when he got up and getting helped, he told his guys and personal trainers that, hey, let go of me. I want to walk this.
Walk off. Yeah.
And he's like, right when I put a pressure, he's like, oh, hell no, I need help. And he's like, I thought about what Kobe did. He actually shot 2 free throws. He walked to the free throw line. He shot 2 free throws and walked out.
Yep.
Literally, and gave people high fives and walked out. He's like, I don't know how he did that. And that shows. Dude,
Mamba mentality, man.
My gosh. Dude, imagine that, though. Dude, he literally shot free throws.
Yeah.
He literally shot free throws, and then he literally walked off. And then he walked to the bench, and then afterwards he just went to the locker room. But wow,
that's crazy. I mean, because Halliburton said it's like the way he felt was essentially he couldn't. It's like your leg goes numb. You don't feel like you have a foot. So he's like, he stood up and he's like, I have no foot. That's what it felt like because there's no connection there. And so he's like, the fact that Kobe walked up unassisted, shot 2 free throws, switched one, walked off, and he's like, yeah, I couldn't even do that. He's like, I don't know. That's a whole different level of like mentality. That's amazing, dude. I love that.
In that game, the Laker game, Lakers won by I think 1 or 2, and those free throws mattered.
Yeah.
That Kobe shot. I still remember that, man. But damn, man, I still remember like Halliburton's reaction and Tatum's reaction. Like they're crying, man. And Kobe when he tore it, he was like, "Who the hell kicked me?" He has Harrison Barnes. Did you kick
knew right
me?
away though.
Yeah, like
how he knew right away.
Yeah, so I was like, dude, this is insane, man. But yeah, bro.
I think just like even with Dame, when I mean Dame didn't cry, but like as soon as he fell, he's like, God damn it! Like this is it. It's like FML. But yeah, that's such a badass story though. I'm glad Hallie told it because that just shows you what level of a competitor Kobe was.
And then like he was a different person, man. Like they don't make that type of players anymore, man. Like
I mean, he was injured in his shooting arm, so he learned how to shoot with his left hand and shot with his left hand for like a whole week until his arm. That's just players nowadays would just miss a whole month if that happened. Whereas Kobe was like, I'll just shoot left. Who cares? No one's gonna guard me still.
Yeah.
Still put up 30.
Exactly. So which is crazy. The next thing I want to talk about is we're gonna play a game. Guess who said this?
Oh God, I know this one, but go ahead.
You're repping his jersey right now.
Yeah.
But guess who said this? All right, quote by this player. I don't want to say his name, but it's
Tom Brady.
It rhymes with Brady Bunch. Praises Mr. LeBron James, calling him the greatest ever, highlighting his consistency of excellence and ability to navigate pressure. And Brady made those comments during a live podcast. He called him I think he went far as calling him the GOAT. Like that's how he went. So I know you respect Brady. I respect Brady. I think Brady is probably gonna be the Michael Jordan of football. All said and done. He is. Unless something else happens. But yeah, he is. But what is your take on that, man? Like, I mean, he didn't have to say all that. I mean, he could have been like, hey, LeBron is very good. What he's doing right now is amazing. But he didn't have to go far by saying that he's the greatest ever. And he's actually the GOAT, if you look at it,
I don't agree with everything Tom Brady does. I'm a fan of his as a player.
Okay.
Off the field, he could be a little bit out there, right? He's had his political issues before. And I think now LeBron is standing next to him or sitting next to him. Actually, sitting 2 seats next to him.
Yeah.
So, of course, he's going to say something.
But not that much.
Say something.
But not
he can't
that
be like,
much.
He can't be. The only thing I will agree with Brady on it is we have to celebrate greatness when it's in front of us. And I agree with him in that. Yes, we must celebrate greatness. And LeBron is great. We must celebrate that. Greatest ever. And I know LeBron has been talking to Tom Brady more. They've been more buddy recently. So again, trying to push his narrative about him being the greatest. So that's probably what it is. Tom Brady gets caught in the moment. He's the greatest ever. And I disagree. I mean, what can I say? I don't agree with that. I don't think he's the greatest ever. And I think it's sad because LeBron's really, really trying his hardest at the end of his career to make that statement about being the best ever, greatest ever, because he's also seeing what's happening with Kobe Bryant's reputation. Have you seen a lot of these pundits nowadays, like Gilbert Arenas? They're all like bad mouthing Kobe that he wasn't that great. Some people say he's better, that D Wade's better than Kobe.
Really?
All that kind of stuff. Yeah, and that's why I don't know if you saw Kyrie Irving was like, media's got to stop this bullshit. Kobe is the second greatest player of all time. That's it. None of this bullshit thing about like D Wade better than him. I don't want to hear any of that stuff. He was not. D Wade was good for about 5 years.
That's it.
Kobe was good for 20. So, like, there's a lot of that happening. I think that will happen to LeBron as well. Is that over time, people are going to start questioning his greatness, like how they're questioning Kobe's. So he's trying to cement himself as like the greatest now. What are your thoughts? Of course, I'm sure you can be like, yes, you already knew he's the greatest. And he's like, yes, this is my. Please go ahead. I want to hear your thoughts.
Hey man, if the GOAT is recognizing another GOAT, man, I can't. Just kidding. I'm messing.
But why hasn't the real GOAT recognized? Is that why he's pushing it? Because he knows that Michael Jordan will never recognize LeBron as the GOAT.
I'll tell you one thing, man. Okay, you agree or not agree? I mean, agree with me or disagree with me. I don't care. But one thing I will stand by about LeBron James, in my lifetime, he's the only player from age of 16 getting labeled, and with that pressure, he didn't even like meet the expectation. He went up and beyond the expectation, and not one player that has had that type of, what do you call, expectation on him like that, of greatness and actually becoming greatness, and his high school games getting televised, ESPN going there. I mean, like literally, he lived up to all the hype. I mean, probably maybe Wemby you're gonna say. I don't know who you're gonna say, but still, I do feel that what LeBron, took when he was in high school and carried all the way, a lot of people will fade away, man. A lot of people will choke in that situation. That's the only thing I'll give LeBron. He's not the GOAT. I'm sorry. Jordan is a GOAT. If Jordan's not the GOAT, Kobe is a GOAT. If Kobe's not the GOAT, then LeBron's a GOAT. I feel LeBron's number 3 overall, in my view. It goes Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron. That's how NBA is going to be ranked for him. And LeBron could do whatever the hell he wants right now. He's not going to surpass Kobe or Jordan in that stratosphere. But I do feel the one thing that nobody will take anything away from LeBron is what he did coming out of high school and living up to that expectation. Go ahead.
Yep. No, I agree with you that. Obviously, like, as a high school kid, having that kind of pressure is hard to deal with. I think Kobe also struggled the first couple years because he thought he should be getting more playing time, and he also struggled a lot when he first was given opportunities. And LeBron, when he was given opportunities first, he was already good to go. Like, he was great already, right? The only thing that I wanted to say is a lot of that is also him putting himself in a situation, like calling himself the king, calling himself wearing the number 23 when you know what that clearly means.
No, I agree.
Right.
But that's doubling down, though. That's doubling down on that. Think about that.
That's all. Like, it's also like being like in a cow. Like, what was that bull thing where like you wear the red color, and now you're like, why is the bull running after you? Well, because you freaking wore the red color.
Exactly.
So it's the same thing. Yeah. Like, he put the bullseye on his back.
Exactly.
But granted, I agree with you. He still carried that goal. Like, he's still one of the greats. Top 5 of all time. I'm not even gonna deny that for sure. But a lot of that is also himself saying that I had the best championship win of all time. I was the greatest, because like, him saying that is what makes me say you're not the GOAT. Like, Tom Brady never said I'm the best of all time. People gave him the GOAT title. People are giving Michael Jordan the GOAT title. Yeah. Right. That's the that's the respect that he earned from people. Of course. LeBron's out there saying, I'm the greatest, look at me. That's where I'm always like, no, if you have to tell somebody that you're great, you're not great.
Exactly. He's pleading his case, he's trying too hard, and like
exactly.
And like that's not gonna happen.
So I know Tom Brady and him have become really good friends, maybe even business partners now.
Yeah, I would be surprised.
Together. So they're really, really buddy. But I will disagree with him. He can always be right. Goes wrong sometimes.
That's true, bro. That happens, man. I mean, but Brady is Brady, man. I mean, he's arguably the best. So, but it's crazy, he said that. But moving on, there's gonna be no more Thursdays. I will tell you some good news today, man. There's gonna be no more Thursdays or Sundays without football, which is great.
Nice.
We're back, man. Starting this Thursday, it's a Hall of Fame game, and Hall of Fame game means that Hall of Famers are getting inducted into Hall of Fame and to pro football. And so the class of 2025 is Antonio Gates, Jared Allen, Eric Allen, and Sterling Sharpe. Out of those players, what sticks out to you? I'll go after you.
The one that surprises me is Sterling Sharpe. Sterling Sharpe was great. I think he played 4 or 5 seasons. In that span, he was the best receiver. And this is when Jerry Rice was still playing all that. He was the best receiver in football. And then he got that crazy injury, ruined his entire career. I'm surprised that they did allow him to be I'm happy for him. I know Shannon Sharpe gave a very, very emotional speech at his Hall of Fame saying that I'm not even the best Sharpe in my family. It's my brother Sterling, who is better than me.
Yeah.
He should be the one up here, and now he's given the chance.
Right.
And that's an awesome thing, and I'm happy for him. But it just also says like, okay, so can we look at other players in the microscope of 4 years where they were great and call them Hall of Famers now? Right? Like you have like, I don't know who, Todd Gurley, right? Scope, he was the best running back for 3 years
But you
in
can't
the
really
league.
call him a Hall of Famer, though. That's the thing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? So is that what NFL will do now? It's like, okay, Sterling Sharpe, why you were still playing for 4 or 5 years? You were great. Okay, you're Hall of Famer. So then wouldn't Todd Gurley be like, shouldn't I be Hall of Famer then? Or
Exactly.
Terrell Owens, no, not a Hall of Famer. Shouldn't he be, because he was
Exactly.
great for 3-4 years? I don't know. What do you think?
Two things sticks out to me, right? I don't think Sharpe should be deserving in Hall of Fame. He kind of took it away from Torrey Holt, who's not a Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
who's been a finalist for like 3 straight years, and he hasn't made it. And it doesn't make sense to me because in 2000 or 99 and 2000, the best show on turf, all over, everyone's in the Hall of Fame. Isaac Bruce in Hall of Fame, Marshall Faulk in Hall of Fame, and Kurt Warner's in Hall of Fame. The fourth guy in that was Torrey Holt. Those 4 players made the best show on turf, and he has not made the Hall of Fame. So that kind of took it away. So as a Rams fan, I'm kind of pissed. It's like Torrey Holt should be getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Second thing I'm taking away is that Antonio Gates. Gates, he's really good, man. He was good for a long time. I don't want to go out and say that he was one of the best tight ends, but he played for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He played the position so well, man. He's definitely going to be going down, arguably a top 5 tight end. I don't know where he's ranked, but he was really good, man. And I remember, growing up and watching, getting into football, and Antonio Gates, that name, every year he was producing for them, man. He never won a Super Bowl. I mean, Chargers had many chances to win it, but they're a good team for a while. When they had LT and Philip Rivers and all them boys, and Steve Merriman and all them, or whatever his name is, Merriman, defensive player, but like they didn't win it, but they're good for a long time. But Antonio Gates is a name that is always there. Comes in, does his job, and plays through all their injuries, man. And so I'm happy for him. He made it, as a San Diego Charger, so that'll be good.
Yeah, Jared Allen also well deserving.
Yes.
I think he's for the Vikings, right? Like,
yes,
one of the best defensive players there is. But like, yeah, I agree with you. Antonio Gates, very well deserving. Like, I remember when I used to play a lot more fantasy football, he was always the number one tight end that would be drafted, because he was just a stats machine.
Exactly.
He was the number one option for Philip Rivers for a very long time, and those two, were one of the greats together. Well deserving, for sure. And just going back to the Sterling Sharpe thing, like, here are some Hall of Fame. Here are some other wide receivers who are not in the Hall of Fame, who may or may not be deserving of the spot, like you said, which is Larry Fitzgerald, right? He has 17 or almost 17,500 yards. Steve Smith Jr., 14,000 yards. Reggie Wayne, 14,000. Like, a lot of these players should be in there, right?
Yeah, man.
I don't get it.
I'm surprised.
But again, I'm happy for him. Obviously, it's a very, very cool thing an NFL did, but it's just, I think it sets a wrong precedence in what expectations look like of other players then, because then you just breaking it down to a 3 or 4 year, career. So interesting for sure.
I mean, it's gonna be, it's gonna be crazy. But looking into the future, in 2020, see, when you don't make the Hall of Fame that year, it gets harder and harder the following year.
Yes, that's true.
Because here's a list of people who are going to be eligible in 2026. I know I'm going down next year, but you have Drew Brees, first ballot Hall of Fame. Philip Rivers, first ballot Hall of Fame. Larry Fitzgerald, like you said, he's going to be eligible. Jason Witten, he's going to be.
Witten, yeah.
And Frank Gore. So it gets harder and harder to make Hall of Fame, man. I mean, like, obviously Frank Gore has been there for a long time. Played 18 years and been there, He played for I think he played for the Jets for the longest time. Then he went to play for some other team. So he might not make it. Jason Witten, he might not make it because there's so much competitiveness, Out of that list next year, who's guaranteed for you? I feel it's Drew Brees for sure. And Philip Rivers.
Larry.
And Phil Rivers.
So LaShawn McCoy is also eligible. Probably not gonna get in.
He's not gonna get in, man.
Frank Gore. You know who? So here's a couple others that I don't think you mentioned.
Julian Edelman, right?
Julian Edelman, right?
Greg Olson, yeah.
I mean, as a former Patriots fan, you gotta throw him in there, right? Julian Edelman.
I mean, you don't win your championship if it's not for Edelman.
Exactly.
Against the Falcons. You know what catch I'm talking about? The one that didn't hit the ground.
The fumble. Yeah.
The one that did not hit the ground.
Yeah.
Like,
and another one is, so there's only been one of the kicker in a Hall of Fame, and now Gostowski is eligible.
You don't win 2 Super Bowls because of him.
Without Gostowski.
Forget it. You don't even make the Super Bowl. First Super Bowl with Brady if it wasn't for him. And it was a kicker, right, in Oakland?
It was kick, yeah.
Well, you don't make the Super Bowl if he doesn't make that kick. Do you know how many kickers have lost a game in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Those are well deserved, man.
So would you? So again, the only other kicker ever is God, I've forgotten it. Vinatieri. Vinatieri is the only other kicker. Would you think Gostowski would be deserving this?
100%, man. 100.
So then,
100%.
So it's 4 inducted, right, every year. So how many's inducted?
4.
So who would you put? So Drew Brees, Larry, Gostowski. Who else?
Drew Brees has to be in there.
Yeah, for sure.
I honestly,
for sure.
Honestly, I'm biased, man, but Julian Edelman had a very big impact winning the Super Bowls. After, what's the guy's name? Wes Walker left?
Yeah, Wes Walker, yeah.
I think Julian Edelman took his spot, and became that go-to guy for Tom Brady. And, if it wasn't for Julian Edelman's play and catch, with Tom Brady, it would be difficult for Patriots to win the Super Bowl. So I think those 2 players well deserved. Like, they had impact in this Super Bowl, man. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean,
that's a tough one. And then now, again, like you said, every single year you don't make it, the probability of you making it goes down significantly year over year. Because Todd Gurley's actually also eligible.
I know, but he's not gonna make it, man. He only had like 3, like you said, 2-3 good years, and that's it.
Yeah, Rivers, Thomas Davis, Des Bryant,
Alex Smith,
Greg Olson.
Yeah, no, yeah, man.
And LaShawn McCoy. Yeah, so I would say Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Gostowski, Julian Edelman should be the ones. But I know people would say Phil Rivers should also be a guarantee too.
Phil Rivers had a good career, man. Really good career. But again, you gotta understand, man, winning a Super Bowl is
it's gotta carry a weight.
Yeah, it has to carry. It carries a weight where either you make it or don't make it over a guy who didn't win a Super Bowl. Because to be honest, Phil Rivers never got over the hump of making to the. He didn't even make the Super Bowl. He got to the AFC Championship game, but never made it over that. He always lost to Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. Always end up losing to them both, So that has to carry some type of weight. That Edelman and dude, I mean, that kicker has to go in for you guys, man.
Yeah, man.
He started everything. There was a time where he was the reason why you guys were winning the playoff games. It wasn't Brady. Brady got to that position, but it was him kicking it to advance to the Super Bowl or making it to the next round. But dude, everyone still talks about that tuck rule and the timeout. I don't know why even Raiders even call that freaking timeout. And they clear the snow up for him and kick the ball. So he has to go in, man. That's like one of those plays people still talk about. It's like that Giants catch, when they caught on the helmet kind of thing. It's like people still talk about that play, So he has to go in for that, man. There's no way.
We'll see though, man. We'll see. It should be interesting next year. See who gets in.
Exactly,
but this year's class, again, mostly well deserved. I think overall.
Yeah.
And we'll see how next year goes.
Hell yeah, man.
What else you got, man? Any other news coming up?
That's about it, man. Those
Football's
are
back. That's good.
That's what I'm saying. No more Sundays or Thursdays without football, man. It's back all the way till February, man. Exciting. You'll watch the Rams win the Super Bowl. So we'll go to the parade together.
Hey, man, if they do, I will be there for sure, dude. I mean, the Rams, again, on paper, looked very, very good, very promising. If they have the same defensive intensity as the playoffs, they will make it. They were right there. They're the only team that actually gave Philly a hard time.
If we would have
team.
If we would have doubled freaking Jalen, what's his name? Whatever his name, Carter. he had time to throw that freaking ball, dude.
Yeah,
he had that time to throw that ball. That's what I'm saying, dude.
It was game over, dude. It really was. If it wasn't the fumble by your running back, and then if it wasn't that blown coverage, you guys would have been.
I'll tell you right now, if we would have won that game, I know you're gonna laugh at me. If we would have won that game, that catch by Puka would have been top 5 in playoffs history.
Oh, yeah, memorable. Yeah, it'd be like the Plaxico Burress like head catch. That was Wes Welker catch. It'd be one of
The
those.
way he caught that ball in the snow,
Yeah.
where you can't see shit, like that would have been crazy. So,
let's see, man. Hopefully this year they get the same opportunity, same chances. Everyone's healthy.
Yup.
And we'll go from there, man.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
All right. Oh, and then actually we forgot one thing. Lakers, Luka.
Let's talk about that. Actually,
slimming down.
No. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk. We out time. We out time. Yes.
As a way to get back at Dallas for everything that happened, he's out of shape, blah blah blah, all that stuff that was said about him. Luka is in the cover of Men's Health and absolutely looks really, really good. Slimmed down tremendously, and now it's like, so? What are you thinking? Is it a good shot back at Dallas? What are your thoughts on that? Is he back all the way?
Honestly, man, if I'm in the NBA, I'm scared. I don't know if I told you, but I told my other friend this. Luka is the only player that has that Kobe mentality, meaning that he doesn't give a fuck. He will come at you, and I feel Luka is the only other player that will come close to Kobe's 81 points.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
he got 70 something, right? 71.
Yeah, and he will come close to that. Luka's he's an offensive genius, man. This guy can score on anything. This fat shaming, kind of got out of control. Like people calling him fat, out of shape, this and that. Get out of here, man. The guy was still averaging triple-double with being that size.
Exactly.
Now Luka has lost weight, slimmer, more athletic. Wow. Just I think he's coming with a vengeance, man. He's gonna win this MVP. And I feel that you always tell me, you always think Lakers gonna win a championship. Yes, when we have LeBron, I always think we do. Now we have Luka. When you have Luka on your team, man, you cannot put this team away. You know, they're always gonna have a chance to win a championship, man. With Luka being this healthy and recruiting the way he is, and hoping Friday is August 1st. So I think Saturday, August 2nd, that's the earliest he can sign the extension. The rumor has it that he's gonna sign that 4-year, $222 million contract, which he does. Gets that commitment from the Lakers. We're good to go, man. I think that it's not really going back at Dallas. It's more like why did you even doubt him? Why? It's like I'm glad the guy's in shape. I mean, no one can bitch about it anymore. But dude, I'm excited, man. Hopefully he just stays healthy in this natural. He's playing for his country. Hopefully he just plays well and stays healthy. Nothing happens to him. Knock on wood. But man, I'm just fucking happy, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, and I said this in our group chat, which is this is a great marketing move by the Lakers, right? So here's why I say that.
Yeah, I want to elaborate. Go ahead. I want to hear this.
So the Lakers aren't going to do much next year. We're not winning a championship. I'm sorry to say, we're not winning a championship. Again, we always have a shot. We always have a shot with Luka there. I'll give you that. With the whole LeBron drama, and still, I don't think the team is fully complete yet to compete against the likes of Nuggets and OKC Thunder. But this is the kind of stuff they need, the energy they need to bring people back into their seats, bring people back into we're legit now. This is how they get it back. Instead of taking that attention, that negative attention they had from LeBron and all that kind of BS that he's doing, this is how the Lakers say, look, Luka is healthy again. Laker fans, we're here, we're back. He's skinny again. We're gonna win a championship. This is how they pulled Laker fans, and it worked on you because now you're thinking, we're all the way back. This is an excellent marketing move for that. That's my honest take around it. It's a great move by the Lakers PR team.
All right, man. I want to elaborate on this about you don't think Lakers have a chance to win. I have beef with you, Tapas.
Yes, please.
All right. Without a full training camp, without team chemistry, without a fundamental center we had, we are still number 3 overall in the tough Western Conference.
How
And
far did you get?
again, I don't give a shit about what you say. How far we get.
That's what
I don't give a
matters.
shit. Listen
If we
to me.
went to the finals with the same scenario you just gave me, I would say we'll be all right.
And
We lost first round in 5.
That's fine. Listen to me. Hear me out. We still have all our draft assets. We still have our expiring contracts. And we added Marcus Smart and DeAndre Ayton, who are playing for a better contract, who are motivated to show the league that, hey, they're real deal. They're not just, players who just kind of flamed out, who are motivated to play. We have legit center. The reason why I said even people like Bill Simmons, a Boston Celtics guy, says that, damn, this Laker team who was third place last year didn't give up any of their first round picks and didn't even give up their salary cap to go acquire a center, and they got gifted DeAndre Ayton and Marcus Smart, and they can still make moves. Which Lakers, I still think they'll make a move, but being third place, I just feel good about it, man. I don't know what you think, man, but shit, I'm just letting you know, Tapas.
No, if it was a continuation of last year, where the same teams are showing up, then I would have said, okay, maybe. But like we talked about, Nuggets got significantly better.
I agree with you. Yes.
Clippers on paper significantly better, and OKC is still a tier above the Lakers on paper. And so we're not beating any of those teams. I don't care if you have Marcus Smart, if you have a smart car, if you got Joe Smart. It's not gonna happen, brother. I know, and we talked about last week. I know you always think that people come to Lakers and revitalize a career, but it has never happened. Everyone leaves the Lakers being worse than they actually came in. Every single person that's come to the Lakers under LeBron's legacy, every single one of them, right? And the biggest elephant in the room is LeBron's giant contract and the drama.
How far do you think Lakers will go this year?
First round.
All right. Hear me out. Man, I have beef with you, Tapas. Sorry about this shit. All right. How about this? Without them making any significant changes, like I'm talking about, like obviously like an all-star added to a trade.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, trading for role players is different. But besides making any significant move, like you think first round and out? That's what you think it is. I don't feel that. Okay. How about this? If you think they're first round and out, I will treat you to Nobu. I'm
not confident in that. I'm giving you my fair assessment.
No, but that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm asking you. What is your real take that how far Lakers will, besides them adding they cannot add an all-star. They cannot add an all-star, but they'll make changes in the roster of role players. That's fine, How far do you think Lakers will go?
Okay, so best case scenario, they make Western Conference Finals. If they get lucky, right, they go into like 4th place again. If they get lucky, West Conference Finals. But likely scenario, first round exit.
All right, Tapas. Again, my question to you is, how far do you think Lakers will go? Just tell me your thing, and then I will go from there.
Well, if we're gonna bet no, I'm gonna say West Conference Final. I'm gonna give myself a cushion here.
All right, how about this?
I'm telling you my realistic.
How about this?
What they should be.
How about this? All right, how about this? I'll give you the first round, the second round, and the Western Conference Finals. You have all 3 rounds to yourself. Right? If they make any slots, I will treat you to Nobu. If they make the finals, you treat me to Nobu.
Oh yeah, 100%. I take the bet 10 out of 10 times. Yes, right.
Hey, look, it's recorded. It's recorded. It's recorded. We'll come back to it. If they make the finals, Tapas,
with this team right now,
I mean, I said,
no all-star added.
No, okay, they'll make trades for role players. Like, I'm saying,
right.
like getting Jeremy Grant is a role player. Getting Robert Williams is a role player. But I'm not saying like a player, like an all-star team player. You cannot add that type. Then this deal is done. Like, you can't. It doesn't work. But like they can add players, like role players, but nothing significant where he's gonna like get them, to the next level.
Like, it's really good at Nobu. I'm gonna get some like cod over there. The Wagyu tacos are really good. Oh, dude,
get whatever
it's
you
great time.
get, bro.
I can't wait. Oh, there's spicy margarita over there.
Dude, get whatever you want, bro.
Will Smith again.
It'll be, you know what? We will. I will tell you, Tapas, that I will treat you. I'm giving you the Western Conference Finals, Western Semifinals, and the first round. I'm picking the Lakers to the finals.
All right.
That's how confident I am.
Trust me, man. This stuff feels really good about it. First round, I was kind of iffy, right? Again, that's my realistic take. The potential right now is obviously Western Conference, but realistic, they're around that. But I don't know what you see in our team. Again, I'm not a hater. I'm the biggest Laker fan. I want them to win, but I'm also realistic because I don't want to keep getting my heart broken every single year thinking they're going to be the best. And then every single offseason be like, what the fuck, Rob Pelinka? Why are you at Disneyland? I'm not that kind of Laker fan. I'm like, let's set the bar here.
We have like, if not top two, arguably the best player in the NBA right now. And that's
Luka, yeah.
It's just
yeah.
This guy's nonsense, bro. I'm telling you. Yeah. And I'm just telling you, Tapas, it's insane. But again, let me piggyback on this one. How ironic is this? This Luka thing came out about losing weight and being in shape and working out. Did you see a Instagram story by someone? Your favorite player?
LeBron?
Yeah, did you see that? All of a sudden, he storied in the morning today saying, year 23, working out at 4:30 in the morning. All of a sudden, because the attention's on Luka, because everyone's talking about Luka losing weight, being in shape. And all of a sudden, LeBron wants a story today saying that I'm working out, getting ready for year 23. Because he knows that Luka's, doing all his shit.
He's headlining LA now. No one gives a shit about LeBron. He's a role player.
It's crazy. Crazy how LeBron
when
did that
has ever happened to him.
But it's crazy how LeBron did that today, though. Out of all days, he could have done it last week or next week or whatever, or last month. All of a sudden, he wants to get ready for year 23 now. Like today, he wants to go work out at 4:30 in the morning today. Out of all days.
Now he's motivated. Like, oh shit, I lost my power over in LA. Like, I gotta get it back.
Come on, man. Come on.
So yeah, that's the drama I'm telling you about. That's gonna be your biggest thing. It's always the intangibles that affect the Lakers. Whether it's JD Redick's coaching or LeBron's issue and drama, that's it. On paper we should be good, but there's always an underlying issue that's gonna happen. So that's why I don't think we'll win.
In June, the sun, that afternoon sun, eating at Nobu, bro, that'd be great to have.
Oh man! And when the bill comes, like, give it to that guy over there.
Exactly, man. Malibu Nobu with my main brother Tapas. Gosh,
how about we should add a cherry on top at that lunch or dinner at Nobu. The loser has to wear the winner's jersey. Whoever ends up being the winner of the Western Conference.
Okay. Fair.
So if it's Denver, if it's OKC,
fair,
you got to wear a jersey from them.
Fair, man. Fair. Right.
And then obviously, I guess for me it would be Lakers. So I'll wear a Lakers jersey.
Yeah, all I want to know is that I won. That's all you give a shit about, and we're good to go, bro.
All right, I look forward to it. Well, there you go. We have it on record. Brown Balls, you guys all heard it here, and we will see at the end of the season. All right, until then, we are out. See you guys next week.